Welcome to PR Like a Boss, the podcast where we dive into all things PR, media and brand storytelling, chatting with the brilliant minds shaping how we see, hear and feel about brands today. I'm your host, Pats. Now, if you love beauty, wellness and a healthy dose of real talk, today's episode is for you. Because my guest has been on both sides of the glossy magazine pages. First as a top beauty editor, and now as the co-founder of a totally game-changing wellness brand. I'm joined by the fabulous Jolie Sanderson. You might know her from her time in ELLE magazine and Grazia magazine. She's been the name behind countless beauty pages and iconic shoots. And now she's going full force co-founder disruption mode with her new venture, We Are Regular. The supplement brand that's boldly breaking taboos and literally helping women feel, well, regular. Yes, we're going there today. From beauty covers to bathroom talk, nothing is off limits. We're going to chat about her transition from media maven to wellness founder, how she's harnessed PR power to launch a brand with confidence, and why breaking taboos can actually be a PR superpower. So grab your coffee, your green juice, or whatever keeps you regular, and let's dive in. Jolie, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me. I'm very excited.
I'm so excited to have you here. You've had this incredible career in beauty journalism, and now you've gone and launched a wellness brand that's all about helping women feel their best. Let's start right there, shall we? What made you take the leap from beauty editor to brand founder?
Well, I would say it was very much unplanned. My co-founder Holly and I have known each other since we were 16. We met in a nightclub, which we should not have been at 16, and then went to Manchester University together, lived together. Now, Holly was on the beauty commercial side. I had spent the last 13 years in magazines, and we were at our friend's birthday lunch. Becky Knowles, if anyone listening knows her, has her own PR company. And she was sat next to me, and Hall has been constipated just as long as I've known her, since she was 16. And she was popping all these pills at a Sunday lunch. I was like, what are you doing? She's like, I've found all these pills. I can finally poo, essentially. And I was like, you can't, you're taking 30 pills. Absolutely unsustainable. And she said, yeah, but it's making me poo. And then I looked at her and I said, well, why don't we put it all in a formula and sell it? And we should call it Regular. And that was literally the name from the first conversation. And I was on mat leave at the time, very much in the midst of nappies, my day revolving around naps. And not that I hadn't loved my mat leave, I really did, but I did miss that side of me that was mine in terms of creativity. And I love working. I love staying busy. I love working. I'd always been lucky enough to always be in work throughout magazines. From when I was 21, I left university and got a job at ELLE straight away, which was incredible and incredibly lucky. So I really liked being busy. So that lunchtime conversation, literally a few days later, we were speaking to manufacturers. There was no messing around. Our friend had a supplement brand. We met with her manufacturer. And we went with, probably about four or five in the end, until we found a woman who got it and what we were trying to do. And then, that was almost 2 years ago. And then it's been an absolute whirlwind since then. But I didn't leave my job at Grazia till a year and 5 months. So we had the idea in February. I was on mat leave. We worked all that year. I went back from maternity leave, was back from maternity leave about a year. And then it got to the point where I just couldn't do both. I'd got back from a family holiday and I was working until 12 at night, up at 6, mother duties. And I just didn't want to sacrifice any time. My time with my son is the most important, most precious. And that wasn't being prioritized. So I knew that something had to give, and I knew that I had to take a bet on myself. So that's what I did. And And then I left the very glossy world of magazines and started a poo brand, essentially.
Well, we all do it. And, some of us need
Indeed.
a lot more help than others, right?
Exactly.
Well, We Are Regular is bold in tackling something most brands and people shy away from, and that's
Yeah.
digestive health. How did you approach positioning such a taboo topic with confidence and playfulness?
Again, it was right in the beginning of that same week when we had the conversation at lunch and we're like, yeah, let's do this. We have the formula. Holly had the formula. And we sat down. I was like, if we are going to do this, we have to do it differently. She tried loads of things. They hadn't worked. I tried things. I had very intermittent constipation, but bloating like all the time, constantly. And had tried things and nothing had really worked. And in fact, some had made it worse. And we started doing our research and looking at how brands looked, first and foremost. A lot were like apothecary style. And we knew from the get-go, we had obviously our vision boards and we are like, we're not that's not what we are. We're this, which is bold and colourful and taking inspiration for like travel books and really poppy colour combos. So we knew that was like our visual identity and what we wanted to explore. And then alongside that was always going to be this bold attitude. If you are going to talk about poo, like just talk about poo. It really doesn't need to be this thing that we shy away from. But as women specifically, we have been told that there's shame around poo, that is secret, that it's not feminine, which is absolute bullshit.
Yeah.
Like we are literally all poo. So let's talk about it. And there's so much conversation to be had. So from that first meeting, I was like, we need to break poo taboos. And that became a slogan that we ran with and is very much underpinned our brand from the start. And I think in breaking those poo taboos, our hope is to empower women through conversation. And how we are trying to do that is to be two founders who very, very openly talk about it themselves, to break down those boundaries and in the hope of making other women or anyone just feel more comfortable. And we've done some calls with customers who've left reviews on our website. And I did one this morning with an amazing woman who was in her 70s, late 70s, who had absolutely loved the product. And she just said, I really admire what you are doing. That, like, in my life, I've never seen that outspoken way about talking about digestive health. So, yeah, we hope with that kind of bold messaging that will help break down taboos, which then opens conversation, which then leads to education, which, can be such a powerful tool, especially when it comes to bowel health, checking your poo, knowing what to look for, knowing when to see a doctor. I've seen a few doctors for like various different reasons. I've had a doctor's finger up my bum, checking different things. There's no shame in that. And if you think there's something wrong, you have to get checked. So the education, I think, was super important from the beginning, as was this kind of loud and proud message. And we chose to specifically speak to women at first. That is not that the supplement is only for women, of course. But one, constipation affects twice as many women as it does men. But two, it was the women who historically have had that shame thrust upon them that it's this unfeminine thing. And it's also who we know how to speak to. We did a really interesting exercise in the start when we like profiling, like, who's our customer, what you call, what you do with their spare time. And I wrote mine and James, my husband, read it. And he was like, isn't that you? I was like, yeah, it is me. And I hope that comes across in the brand because it's just us. It's what we live and breathe and it's who we are. So hopefully that will resonate with other people.
Oh, I think it's so much fun and such an important topic as well, as you say. It's important to understand our bodily functions, what looks right, what doesn't feel right, and if it doesn't, to get it checked, because it could essentially save your life one day.
Quite literally.
Yeah. So having worked on both sides of the media table, what do you think makes a pitch stand out to editors?
I would say something tailored to that magazine. Every magazine is unique. Every voice is unique. What would work for Grazia is not going to work for, say another publication, or it might, but just with a tweaked tone of voice. It can be anything from like a super strong head and sell. It just has to spark interest and intrigue. I think also knowing what is going on outside of your brands. You know your brand, you know it inside out. But what are other people doing within the space that you are seeing becoming a trend. You can make a trend. A trend can quickly pick up. And that's what gets clicks, which is what, especially online, and want to talk about and to have something newsy and fresh to talk about. So I think just don't be afraid to try and make a trend, to jump on a trend and relate your product as long as it feels authentic. If it doesn't, it's pointless.
Yeah.
And to give those more tailored pictures, I think, are always really useful and unique and make a brand stand out. I would also say an email subject line. Like, you want to get someone's attention, is a powerful way to do it without, feeling pushy.
Yeah, good tips. How important has your editorial background been in shaping your brand and, well, shaping your brand and communications?
I mean, I would say hugely so. So the business side is all new to me. Compliance, lawyers, insurance, just everything that on the more techie side and the business side, which has been incredible to learn that and to learn on the go. I think when you have been in a career for 13 years, which is a privilege and so amazing to do, you get the ropes, you know what you're doing. So I think being thrust into the unknown is an amazing and a steep learning curve. But in terms of what I've taken from my time in magazines, I think it comes back to your audience and your woman. So knowing what makes them tick and click, as it were. And because of that, I guess the stories and the ideas come quite naturally. Because again, we are a customer. We know how to speak to them. We know how they're feeling, hopefully. And that was always something you needed to tap into in mags. And you could see on who was clicking on your articles. And what always, which also is a thing for pitches, like any first person pitches, that's what people want. That's what makes clicks. Having the team involved. So no one will really click on the so-and-so dropped a lipstick unless there's a huge discount, unless there's a celebrity attached, or unless there's a first person element. If it's not X brand launched this amazing lipstick, it's a first person saying, I've tried 100 lipsticks and this is the best. So it's bringing that personal element is what people want and what they click. And for us, it all comes down to the community, which we call our newsletter community, the VIPs. So if you haven't signed up, please sign up. And we want it to be a really inclusive and empowering space, which is very much what magazines want to do, is to create those communities that make women feel seen and heard, essentially, and to empower them. So that is what our, yes, we've got a product to sell, but I would almost say that sales don't get us as excited as the phone calls we've done this morning, speaking to customers. And ideas are yes, let's do this and let's throw them an event. And creating that side of things is obviously hugely important to us.
I love that. And the community element is crucial in whatever industry, I think. And by having those conversations, it's a form of market research and understanding whether your tone of voice is resonating, understanding whether the consumer actually gets what you're trying to say and provide. So community is very, very powerful.
It's the heart of everything. And, we're the ones replying to the Instagram messages. We're the ones replying to the TikTok. We're the ones having feedback. We've had the most amazing feedback on the flavor. You even said in the video you did yourself, it's green. You're like, it's going to taste like, super greensy. And it doesn't.
It doesn't.
It is green because of the natural ingredients, because of the barley grass, but it isn't a green, a greens powder. It is quite the opposite of that. And it tastes of wild berry, which is amazing. And someone messaged me earlier being like, would you consider other flavors? You want a slightly less flavor one that you could pop into a smoothie? And I'm like, of course we would. What do you like? What appeals to you? And I never want to lose that in speaking to people and getting their feedback. That is everything.
Yeah. And you get a lot of food for thought, to be honest.
Yeah. On my call earlier, I had 3 features because I write the newsletters. And I was like, we need to talk about pelvic floor and the relationship to constipation. We need to be talking about all of these different things. So the ideas are constantly going. It's just as a team so it's just Holly and I full time, and we work with a lot of amazing freelancers. But as a team of 2, it's just having the time to make all of those, I guess, a reality.
Oh, definitely. And it's amazing because you can be very versatile and you can change things up very quickly, just the two of you.
I would say that is a huge plus point as a small brand. You can flip the conversation in a day. You're like, we did this yesterday. That was terrible. Why did we do that? And then you change it the next day and you move forward. You can make, really quick and reactive decisions off the back of what people are asking for. Now, we would never be a brand to jump on a trend because it's trending. And I've seen a lot of brands do that recently, and it just feels very inauthentic to shift your messaging because, I don't know, competitors come up in the market or something else. Like, just know who you are. Otherwise, if you don't have that, your loyalty is gone. Just know who you are and the rest will come. You know your person, you know your customer.
And it can be very confusing for your customer if you're switching your comms and jumping on trends just for the sake of it.
Yeah, and absolutely. And I think, again, we have like specific marketing, as I said, to who we know to market to and women, but we don't want to alienate anyone from these brands. And I think a really important part of PR and the power of PR is to tap into different audiences. So the audience that we will get from a big piece of press in a newspaper is different to our Instagram audience. They probably don't follow us on Instagram. Our TikTok audience, maybe a bit of crossover, but again, like very different. So we want to tap into all of the different communities and make them feel seen and heard. And how do we switch that up between different platforms so that it resonates with that person and no one feels alienated? It feels a very open space.
Yeah. Can you share a PR or media moment for We Are Regular that made you think, you know what? Yes, we're cutting through.
The power of PR is incredible. And I'd say the biggest two pieces of press that we had were with the Daily Mail and the Times, so very newspaper focused. The Daily Mail, we had a pre-story go out about a week before, and that really pushed sign-ups to our newsletter, who obviously got to know when the product was on sale first. And then we had one post. And again, talking about that first person, it was Holly's story with Claire Coleman. And it was so powerful because it's her story, because it feels authentic. And if you suffer from constipation, it is debilitating. And to hear that, one, you're not alone. Two, there are solutions out there. But three, there's somebody talking about it in a, in her very glossy, she's in her outfit, like a very glossy photo shoot. And it doesn't have to feel so clinical. So we we're from beauty backgrounds. We wanted to bring that into it and make it more playful and accessible visually and not so clinical, to kind of break down those boundaries. So the Daily Mail was amazing. The Times did an incredible double page on the Saturday paper with Leslie and Peter. And yeah, it's been amazing. The support across the board has been amazing. I would say they're the two that you really saw surge sales. The satisfaction that I get from a Shopify sound, I'd never had that before.
Was it a little ping,
so it's like,
ping?
Ding, 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 ding. On the Daily Mail day, hundreds and hundreds of orders.
Oh, wow. Did it just go nuts?
Nuts. So we're only 6 weeks in. We're probably going to sell out tomorrow. And in 6 weeks, we had to place our second order when we could afford it, which was about 3 weeks in. And PR was hugely pivotal in that and so powerful. So yeah, I'd say the Daily Mail with Rosie and Claire, and then on the Times side as well. But we've had amazing support elsewhere. Stylist did a poo cover, which was absolutely incredible. And what Stylist is so amazing for is breaking down those taboos in women's health. Like, they're the person, if you want to have that conversation, stylists are not afraid to do that. They'll talk about STIs, they'll talk about vaginal health, whatever. It doesn't faze them, and they're so powerful. So in terms of, brand positioning, Stylist was incredible. Yeah, I mean, and then there's been smaller things, which is product placement, which is equally appreciated and is amazing. But I think the most powerful in terms of what converts to sales is the first person, for sure.
I always say that people attract other people, and that goes for brands as well. People buy into people.
Yes, they absolutely do buy into people because we want to have open conversations. You just want to have that community. You want to have conversations And I guess that's even off the back of social media. You can have those conversations with people you don't know, and you can start to feel part of a community with people you don't know.
Yeah.
So that's very
Definitely.
powerful.
How has building your own brand shifted your perspective on what beauty and wellness brands need to succeed in the press?
I think less than shifted, it's reaffirmed what I knew about what success would look like. Again, coming back to stories, coming back to founder stories. And I've been incredibly lucky, obviously, to have those relationships and built that trust within the industry over 13 years. And I would say the beauty community is so incredible at wanting to support other founders and support other women. It's a really supportive and collaborative space. So I guess, again, it comes back to proactively pitching what will really resonate with audiences. And I think don't be put off if you send a pitch and you get ignored and it flops. Doesn't mean you can't send it again. Doesn't mean you can't, chase without hounding. And we didn't, I guess, create a product because we saw a gap in the market. We didn't sit down like, we want to launch a brand. What's missing? I tell you what, the supplement industry is supposed to grow by X amount in the next 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't happen. We didn't sit down for that. It happened over a friend's lunch.
I think they're probably the best scenarios for when businesses, get that first initial idea.
I think so. And when it feels comfortable and natural to you, and don't get me wrong, like, fair play if you see a gap in the market and you're like, let's do this. Let's launch a brand and you can make it super successful.
Mm-hmm.
But we never wanted to tap into women's insecurities and market that in the way that we know how, which, is a good way if sales is your main focus. But that was never what we wanted to do. It was a very natural journey of Holly finding a solution to a problem, a personal problem, and then us wanting to share that with other people. So it really comes back to that personal story. And there's no point creating another brand. There's so many brands out there. If you're not going to do something different, and you don't 1,000% believe in it, and have the drive to create that community, I would say don't bother. Like, look at the celebrity brands that are flopping. Like, they have huge audiences, but it doesn't matter because it's not authentic. Or I guess, a really authentic example of an influencer, Jamie Genevieve's makeup brand is amazing. I've got it on today. Because she's a makeup artist and she had spent time on counter listening to what people wanted, and all of that of her history then led her to create a really authentic brand.
Yeah, completely.
And I think she's done amazingly.
Yeah, she has. For other emerging wellness or beauty founders listening, what's one piece of PR advice you wish more people knew? Don't
be afraid to put yourself out there. And you know what? It is scary, but the more you do it, the less it becomes scary. Holly and I have gone on podcasts and Instagram telling people funny poo stories about ourselves. That's not chic, or is, formally not chic. But if you are trying to say that you're breaking taboos, you have to lean into that.
Yeah.
So whatever your thing is, lean into it, because that's your superpower. If you are going for a founder first brand, you're your biggest asset, and you're the people that, people are looking to. I think more founder led brands are breaking into the space because of that. So I'd say, do not be afraid to put yourself out there, because your story will be really powerful. And so I would say that that's probably your, greatest PRable asset.
Oh, definitely. Showing up is key.
Yeah, don't be afraid. You probably have to do it. So if you are afraid, you'll probably have to get over that and just believe in yourself a little bit.
Yeah.
And it will pay off, I would say.
I couldn't agree more. All right, Jolene, before I let you go, it's time for one of my favourite parts of the show, a little game. And this one is called Bathroom Shelf Confessions. It's a quick fire, so no overthinking. You ready?
Okay.
One product you'll never stop buying.
Brow gel. Got to be brow gel. I buy it on Amazon. I think it's £5. It's the best eyebrow gel ever. All my friends use it. It keeps your eyebrows up all day. And if it ever went out of stock, I don't know what I would do.
Which one is it?
Got to be. It's for eyebrows and also edges if you have curly
Oh,
hair that you can, but it's
tame.
incredible. And
Love
I've been on
it.
shoots with makeup artists and he was like, what do you have in your eyebrows? Because they haven't moved all day. And to be, he's an incredible makeup artist. And I was like, got to be, he's like, no, it's not. Yeah,
Great
it is
stuff.
indeed.
What's your ride or die beauty hack?
Friends think I'm weird for this, but I moisturize my body twice a day. In the morning, out of the shower, and then before bed.
Do you? I'm so lazy with moisturizing my whole body. It's really bad.
No, I'm obsessed. And like loads of moisturizer. I
Oh,
like to go to bed like slick. Like, it's just the best feeling. And I think I must have super dry skin, but I love a body moisturizer.
any favorites?
Twice a day. Oh, yeah, loads. What did I use this morning? I used Weleda Skin Food, the butter one. I love La Roche-Posay, Le Picard Balm, Clarins, the new Junebird body serum. Oh, it's amazing. Loads though, probably loads I've missed out on. Or body oils, I like the L'Occitane, the almond one.
Oh, yeah, that's a classic.
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 I like whipped ones. I like balm. I don't want like a lotion.
Oh, okay.
I'm not interested in like a fragrant lightweight situation.
No, it doesn't give the slickness that you need.
Yeah, it's not for me. Something very like comforting and thick and a little bit greasy. I'd take grease.
Grease, okay. How about the weirdest or most outrageous product you've ever been sent as an editor?
It's not a product. And by outrageous, I mean outrageously great.
Okay.
Like the best thing. Vichy used to do these dinners at home. So they would send a chef to your house, a chef and a waitress, and they would do everything in the kitchen, and they would tablescape your table. So I've still got it now. Like I've got the linen napkins. This sounds very like decadent, and it is, but it was amazing. And they used to do everything. They put flowers and tablescaped it, and you got to choose your menu, and you were at home. And it was absolutely heavenly.
What a treat.
Do you know what? It was a proper treat. It was so nice. And please bring it back. I probably won't be I'm not on the list anymore because I'm not in magazines. Well, not permanently in magazines. So, yeah, but it was a joy.
Beautiful. How about a regular routine you swear by, besides we are regular, of course?
A regular routine. I'm so bad at routines. But I would say at the minute I'm doing gua sha and like following like a few online videos. And I do think it makes a difference. You have to go quite hardcore.
Yeah.
And I would like to say LED, and I have an amazing LED, but with a toddler, it's so hard. So that can be my New Year's resolution. But at the minute, the gua sha, the body moisturizing. Yeah.
How about what's your dream collaboration within the beauty or wellness space?
If it's a person, our mission is to get Dua Lipa to take regular. We put something on Instagram and it got like quite a lot of traction the other day, and we're like, get it to Dua, please, someone. My business partner Holly is obsessed with her, and that would be the mission.
Watch this space.
There's loads of brands we have in mind. I think collaborations across brands, and we're having some very exciting conversations at the minute, will be huge to for us, and something we really, want to explore and do a lot of.
What's your guilty pleasure beauty product?
Augustinus Bader's Rich Cream.
Oh.
Stunning. Yeah. I mean, what a pricey guilty pleasure.
Definitely.
It's just amazing. The rich one, when I said I like to feel greasy. Not, I say greasy in a good way, in that it just feels really thick and comforting. And it doesn't, the grease doesn't last. But yeah, if I could dip myself into a vat every night before bed, I think if I was a billionaire, that's what I would do.
Oh, yeah. And finally, what's the one thing beauty PRs should never do when pitching?
I guess too much of a hard sell. But the thing is, I would never look and be like, oh, God, like, don't do that. Everyone's just doing their jobs. And I would never look down on an email or a pitch. But I guess just in terms of not following up maybe too quickly, it's so busy, or they might be on holiday and you've just not got their out of office. So I think don't be afraid to chase. because no one really minds that. I guess it's just not maybe doing it too often. And hopefully that person will get back to you, or then you switch it up and you try another angle. But no, I would never look at an email and think that. I think props to you. Everyone's doing their jobs. Women supporting women.
Women supporting women, always. Jolie, this has been so much fun. Thank you for keeping it real and for breaking down taboos with humour and honesty, and for reminding us that great PR is about confidence, clarity, showing up, and a killer story.
Yeah, I hope so.
Where can people connect with you?
Oh, what a fabulous question. I'm so glad you asked. Come find us on Instagram. We are .regular, on TikTok as well. And sign up to be a VIP.
A VIP.
A VIP. You can go on our website. We've got a section on our website, or just go onto our Instagram and you can sign up and get me sliding into your inboxes on a Sunday. I've talked about fart walking. That is the latest trend in wellness.
That is. I'm actually seeing that on my
yes,
on my feed quite often now. I think it's part of the algorithm.
Yeah,
things that I'm clicking on.
I was going to say, if you posted about us, you're probably getting lots of poo digestion suggestions. So come find us there, and obviously on our website. And even if you're not constipated or bloated, we're a very good energizer. Got a lot of vitamin C in there, so if you need to see yourself through winter, come check us out.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
And to everyone listening, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, give a 5-star rating, and share this episode. It helps the show reach amazing listeners like you. And don't forget, if you're ready to elevate your PR game, check out my e-course, PR Like a Boss. It's packed with actionable tips to help you get noticed and stand out. The link is in the show notes. Join me next time for more conversations with my female powerhouses. Until then, keep pushing boundaries and PRing like a boss.